Okay, here we are. Hey, how's it going?
Everybody. Happy Sunday.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun one today.
This is going to be a fun one today. We have some special guests we're going to bring in just a minute.
Yep.
But I want to say hi to everybody that's in the chat so far. We want to say hi to Larry and Mickey Scousers. Hi, guys. Sarah and Steven. Hi, Jen. Is it Jen and Mark or just Jen?
Is it loud?
Hey, Maria. How are you doing today? And then, of course, Kaya is here and Emma and John. Hi.
Oh, Emma and John.
How's everybody doing?
And they use the Spanish on us. Hola.
Hola.
Yeah.
I know. Oh, Marie says hi to Angus.
Oh, Angus, you got a fan.
Hi.
You got a fan.
There he is. So hope everybody is having a great day so far today. Kaya's been playing with Angus in the harness.
Trying to walk him.
Yeah.
We're just going to let him get used to it.
Yeah. So we have 3 special guests. Well, 2 on one channel and 1 on another today. Hi, Debbie. How are you? That we are going to do all about Disneyland today. So our special guests, we are first going to bring in are Crystal and Jim from Anaheim Park Tourists. Say hi, Crystal.
Hi,
and Jim.
Crystal.
Hey, everyone.
So they are in California, and they are, if you don't know their channel, I'm going to have Kaya put their channel in the chat. So you can check them out if you are thinking about a trip to Disneyland or need to know information about where to stay, anything like that. They are the authority on where to stay at Disneyland. And then the next guest we have is
did you feel that big old weight just land on your shoulders right there?
I got sweaty palms now.
No, it's like, oh crap, people are going to listen to this.
No pressure, I promise. And then we are going to bring out our good friend, Mr. Mike. Hello, Mr. Mike.
Mr. Mike. Now, Mr.
Hi,
Mike
everybody. Hi, everyone.
He was the guy we always talk to about Disneyland because he grew up around Disneyland and it was like his childhood.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yes, it was.
I think Disneyland raised you pretty much, didn't it?
I would like to think so, but
okay.
no offense to mom and dad, because
right.
They did a pretty good job too. But
yeah, they did. I have to admit, you're all right, guy.
I'm all right
guy.
Pretty all right. Yeah.
I got sweaty.
If I trust you with my daughter, I would trust you with anything. So.
Right.
I appreciate that, buddy.
Yeah. No need to be nervous. This is actually the very first guest experience for both Crystal, Jim, and Mr. Mike. So yes. we're gonna try to be nice to them today because they're feeling the sweat like Eminem. Hello, Lori Jean. How are you? Oh, Disneyland is your favorite park.
Hi, Lori Jean.
I'm like home park.
That's awesome. Home park.
Home park.
So yeah, Disneyland is not our home park.
No.
We are Disney World people. So we're going to talk a lot today about Disneyland for Disney World people. There's similarities and there's differences in both Disney World and Disneyland. So we're going to kind of just talk about that and get Crystal, Jim, and Mr. Mike's take on Disneyland, some tips if you're thinking about going to Disneyland, and then maybe a little Disneyland versus Disney World throwdown.
Oh no,
Mike's ready for that.
Well, I got to tell you that my first experience with Disney was Disneyland.
That's right. That was the first park we went to because we do live in Colorado. For those of you that don't know us. Disney.
Which one was your first?
My first was Disneyland, actually, when I was a kid.
They were our first time.
Yes. Yeah. So there are some pretty huge differences between Disneyland and Disney World. First, what we're going to do is have you guys introduce yourselves to the people in the chat. Just a little bit about who you are. I know, Mr. Mike, you don't have your channel up live yet. It's coming.
Hopefully.
We keep bugging you about it. So Crystal and Jim, tell us a little bit about you guys, your history with Disneyland, and a little bit about your channel.
You go first.
Okay, so we have been going together as a couple since 1998. Actually, Jim flew me down as one of our first dates, and we went to Disneyland together.
That's a killer first date.
Yeah. He was working down there, so he flew me down, and he knew I loved Disney. So, and then we've just been going together since, and then we had our children, so we've experienced it as a young couple, and then married, and then with our kids. And now our kids are teen and tween age, so now we're getting to experience that with them as well.
Nice.
Yeah, and we've had some bad experiences staying at hotels in the area, and we're not there to ever really give a hotel a bad name or anything. That's not what we want to do. We want to obviously promote the businesses and whatnot, but we also we want to help people find the right hotel, and we're kind of the go-to people out of our friend group, coworkers, family. And so we had a coworker one day in passing said, "You should start a YouTube channel." And that's kind of kind of the
because nothing is worse than spending a lot of money on a hotel and then getting there and being disappointed.
Exactly.
Oh
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's no fun. How long have you guys had your channel?
We started publishing in mid-June of 2020. And so we had all these ideas, and then of course pandemic happens. But that's okay. So
Sarah and Steven from Mickey Scouser says, how have you kept up with the dates after that one? That's a major first date.
Yeah. That was tough.
It puts a lot of pressure on the rest of your relationship.
Yeah.
Okay.
What Kaya was trying
to give us some technical assistance here, but she realized that we can't do that.
Okay, got
because she wanted it to do, bigger.
Oh, yeah, can't do that.
Or all three the same size.
Hi, Keith BDF. How are you today? So, Mr. Mike, tell us a little bit about you and when you started going to Disneyland, your history with Disneyland and all that.
Well, I grew up in Southern California, so I've been going my entire life. It's pretty much all of my childhood. I had my graduation night at Disneyland from 10 at night until 6 in the morning.
Jealous.
Man, totally jealous.
It was cool, not gonna lie. And then I went quite a few times after I moved to Colorado in 95, and then went quite a few times just because I have to get my fix in every once in a while. But then once I got married and started having kids, like I wanted them to have those same memories and all that good stuff that I got. So back in 2017, I won a contest. It was just a little email that I got, like a dream vacation thing. So I filled that out and sent it in, didn't think much about it, and then heard from them like 3 months later that I had won a dream vacation to Disney.
Wow.
So then I started talking to the lady that got in contact with me, and I asked her, I was like, we're not, we don't like the big ritzy kind of places. Instead of one dream vacation, can I break it up into, several smaller vacations?
Yeah.
He was like, that's fine. So we've gone every year since 2017.
You're
and
kidding.
they basically sent me like, $3,000 to $4,000 every year. And then
how did we not know this about you?
Yeah, you never told us.
You're keeping this secret. By the way, I'm going to say hi to the Pootie Chan fam. Hi there, guys. And Keith, it's 109 days till his first Disney trip, until his 60th birthday. I bet you're getting excited. Hi, Lisa. How are you? That is amazing. I did not know that about you.
So since 2017, we've alternated. We've done Disneyland, Disney World, Disneyland, Disney World.
Wow, that's amazing.
Every year, so
wow.
So there you go.
That's pretty cool.
And all of that money is now gone. Our last trip that we took in October, that last trip in October to Disneyland was the last of it. So now I have to pay for it myself.
So how many years worth of trips did you get out of that again?
We did 5. We turned it into 5 because we paid for the flights ourselves.
Okay.
So, but they gave me Disney gift cards. So that paid for the hotel, the tickets, transportation.
What a sweet deal.
Stuff like that. So
I mean, and I never even would have thought about, hey, can I break it up into several trips? That was pretty smart.
Yeah.
I thought so.
I don't know. We're kind of the Richie type. We'd have blown it all.
Yeah. We'd have been like, give me
Grand Flow.
Give me the castle.
Yeah.
I want that.
We want the Big Thunder Mountain Suite at the Disneyland Hotel. That's what we want.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, for us, like the hotel is typically just a shower and a bed. So, if it's a nice, good neighbor hotel and it's close, I'm in.
Yeah, you guys are pretty much park commandos.
Yeah, it's all about the parks for you guys.
Yeah, we're pretty bad. So.
Yeah. All right, so are you ready to get into the questions?
We have questions.
I do.
She's got lots of questions.
Okay, so in a short synopsis, for you guys, we'll start with you, Crystal and Jim. What do you think is the biggest difference between Disneyland and Disney World? Have you guys just been to Disney World once?
No, we've been twice.
Okay, twice. Okay.
And we want to say hi to Lisa. I have to look over here for the chat. So
Hi, Lisa, and hi, Stephanie Rizzo.
Yeah,
Hi.
I look everywhere, so don't worry about it. I'm like shiny things. Whoa.
And
I would say how easy it is to park hop at Disneyland. For me, that was
that's huge.
compared to Disney World.
But probably, actually, I had this conversation with some people yesterday, and one of the things that we were talking about is how there's so few choices to eat. You don't have the places in downtown Disney are good, but Disney Springs, they're
Right.
Yeah.
Disneyland is here, and downtown Disney's here, and Disney Springs is here,
Right.
and there's a lot more to do. That's probably the biggest thing. You can spend a week or two, and Disneyland about 3 to 4 days. You're good.
Agree. Yeah, agree. So we're gonna say hi to Justin. Hi, Justin. And then, Keith's gonna fly business select with his cousin. That's so cool, Keith. We're so excited for you. Mr. Mike, what about you? What are how many times have you been to Disney World?
Disney World, I've been twice as well.
Twice? Okay, same.
Yep.
So
And then-
what about you guys? What do you think is the biggest difference?
So Jace, who was supposed to be sitting right here next to me, we talked about this last time we went to Disneyland, because every time we leave Disneyland, like we literally cry on the last night. I mean, there's like, we have to sit on a bench and like hug each other in the whole nine or whatever. And when we leave California Adventure or when we leave Disney World, we're bummed. Like we have that sadness, and anytime you got to get back to real life, but there are no tears kind of thing. So for us, for me, it's the history. I'm kind of a history buff, so the whole history behind Disneyland for sure. And then, like I said, it's my childhood. We were sitting in the hub, and Jace was like, why do I get so sad like every time we leave here? And I was like, well, you see that brick right there? I was like, I guarantee you Walt Disney stepped on that brick. Like literally that brick right there. Like I guarantee he stepped on it. I was like, and that's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
Whatever. And he's like, well, so he's starting to get it too. But.
Yeah, I get that. What about you? What between Disneyland and Disney World, what are your biggest differences?
Like Jim and Crystal said, it's so much easier to do the park, Disneyland quickly and to get a real good fix but it takes like eons to do all of Disney World.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been going how long? Since 14.
And we still haven't done everything at Disney World.
Yeah. There's still things at Disney World we haven't done or haven't seen. But I feel like I've done everything at Disneyland.
Almost. I mean, there are still some things at Disneyland that we haven't done any tours or anything like that.
No, but
at Disneyland,
we haven't done any tours, but we've done most everything.
Yeah.
But but that takes the pressure off too, in a way, because you've done it, and if you're not going to get to do it this time, it's okay. Right. Because you've done it, you come back and do it again, whatever.
Right. Yeah.
And so you don't have to feel like you've got to get it all bam, 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 bam. Like Disney World, that's the way we used to feel. It wasn't a marathon, it was a sprint.
Yeah.
A
4-day sprint.
It was a 4-day sprint.
Exhausted.
And you were trying to do as much as you could.
Right.
And Disneyland, I feel like I can relax more. It's got the whole nostalgia thing going for it, because it's just, you look at a building and go, Walt could have painted that, because he was out there painting before it opened. You hear the stories. He was trying to get everything done, and you're like, Walt could have. That's his apartment. That's where he stayed. He slept there. Like George Washington slept here. Ooh,
yeah.
But Walt's big deal. I like that.
And that's a tour worth doing. We did the walk in Walt's Footsteps tour, where you get to visit his apartment, and it's really neat because you think this apartment's huge and lavish. And it was tiny.
It's pretty tiny, but it was definitely on my bucket list to be able to step foot in there. It was really an amazing experience.
And the bathroom is pretty neat because the bathroom is very original, and it looks very 1950s, 60s. And it's pretty neat because we're kind of into, if you really can't see our house, but we have a lot of mid-century. We really like mid-century to begin with.
Yeah.
And all our furniture is mid-century, and so it's really neat. You walk in there, and you have this. It's kind of two different styles in that apartment.
Yeah. Part of it's Victorian, and then but the bathroom was more modern.
We're gonna say bye to Poonie Chan fan. Thank you so much for being in here. So I was going to say, I was going to read the comments here just really quickly. So Lisa says she visited Port Orleans when it first opened and it was called Dixie Landings. I remember that. I actually stayed there once before they converted Riverside and French Quarter into Dixie Landings. So that's pretty cool. And Maria says that's her favorite Disney resort. It's one of ours too, actually. It's one of our favorites. Kaya, have you tried to click on the symbol third from the left? It has two silhouettes, same size. Let's see. Yep.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you, Sarah
like
and
that
Steven.
better.
There you go.
My head just got bigger.
Yeah.
Did we need that?
Nope. Didn't need that.
So yeah, I think for me too, like you guys said, Crystal and Jim, you can do Disneyland in 3 or 4 days. Easy. Disney World, if you're trying to do Disney World in 3 or 4 days, you're going to be wiped out. I mean, trying to get everything in.
Yeah.
It's exhausting. And we've done several 3 and 4 day trips to Disney World and have come home, you know.
Needing a vacation from our
You
vacation.
need a vacation.
Yes. I agree with that.
So if you're, I think that's one of the biggest tips. If you need a Disney trip and you only have 3 days, for example, think about going to California instead of Florida because it's so much more manageable in a short amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But like Lori Jean says, it's the original Magic Kingdom.
Right. It is.
But do you know one of the funniest things is when you go to Disney World, you see the castle, and you go to Disneyland, you see the castle.
Oh yeah. I because my friends are from I used to work and travel the world. And so I've become friends with people who live in different countries. And one of our good friends, Barney and Anna, they came out from Sweden, took their daughters and said, we want to do things California things. And so I took them along a drive down the coast. We went to Disneyland. We walked in. She's never been in there. And she said, it's so tiny. And I said, and it's especially compared to Cinderella Castle.
Right.
Yeah, that was when we went to Disney World for the first time and we rounded that corner. We all went,
I know.
I know. Well, because growing, you guys were so used to seeing,
yeah,
Sleeping Beauty Castle and Disneyland. And it's cute. It's
We
quaint.
love Park Castle.
Yeah, it's cute. I mean, it's quaint. I think Disneyland feels like a miniature, like Small World version of Magic Kingdom. But I love that about it. The queue lines are super
the queues
narrow.
are small, the doorways are smaller,
the walkways are narrower, so but it has that kind of intimate,
but you kind of feel
feel.
like, God, people in 1955
They
must have been tiny
people.
Yeah, the Jungle Cruise queue, it's so narrow, especially at the end.
Yeah.
Where you go through the turnstiles.
Yeah, so is Peter Pan. We noticed that about Peter Pan and Alice in Wonderland. They're like, you're shoulder to shoulder with the person next to you.
Yeah, but I like being able to walk in and do that little Sleeping Beauty tour in Sleeping Beauty's castle. I think that is cool. That is one of the most unique experiences I've had at Disney.
Yeah. So I'm going to go to my next question here. So as a Disneyland veteran, was there anything that surprised you about going to Disney World for the first time?
You guys want to
go? Yeah, go ahead, Crystal.
Go ahead, Mike.
Oh, Crystal and Jen, let's
go whoever.
Let's go in top to bottom.
Sorry, Mike.
Go ahead.
Yes,
Yeah.
Go ahead, Crystal.
I think it's really hard to, I did a lot of research before we went to Disney World, and looking on a map, you say, okay, it looks like pretty spread out, but until you're there and you see how long it takes to get from one place to another, you can't really wrap your head around just how large Walt Disney World is until you're there.
It is.
Yeah, the bus ride from Coronado Springs to Magic Kingdom it seemed like 20 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, and you're driving highway speeds. And it was just shocked how long it took to get there. And it's pretty impressive because on TV, and we're not trying to make fun of anything, but on TV, we always thought you see the parades in Florida and you think, it always looked cheaper than Disneyland, the Main Street. And then you get there and it doesn't, for some reason on camera, it looks that way, but in person, it's so impressive seeing that.
Right.
Having a full 2-story Main Street was impressive
Mhm.
as well.
Oh yeah, I had forgotten about that. That the
Yeah.
you know the buildings on Main Street are even different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot more forced perspective at Disneyland
Yes.
than there is
Yeah.
at Disney World.
Well,
Definitely.
there wasn't as much space,
Right.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, because like Disney World, they took what problems did we have at Disneyland, and then we didn't have enough space.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So that's why Walt's like, we're going to buy all this property so we'll always be able to build on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. What about you, Mike? Was there anything that you weren't prepared for when you went to Disney World for the first time?
Not really. I'm the same
Surprised
type
you?
of personality. Like I did more study, like for anything in college, I didn't study as much as I did for our first trip to Disney World. I knew everything about everything. It was ridiculous how much I knew before we went to Disney World. But for me, it was the same. I had, a couple little complaints here and there, but transportation was by far the most difficult or
Frustrating.
Right.
Yeah.
It
whatever.
takes
Like,
forever. Yeah.
I'm just the type of person, like, I want to get there, or like, I want to feel relaxed when I get there. I don't want to be rushing to get there at the last second kind of thing.
Right.
So, when a park opens at 8, but the buses don't start running until 7:30, then I start getting that stress of like, oh my gosh, like, it's a 30-minute drive to get there. Like, are we going to get there on time? And
Right.
so that
Yes,
irritated me too. But
I always tell people, when we talk to a lot of people about, going to Disney World for the first time, I say, think of it this way. Disney World is the same size and landmass as the city of San Francisco.
Yeah.
So it is huge. Think about, you cannot walk from one end of San Francisco to the other.
Nope.
You can't. And, if you're staying, in one area of San Francisco and you want to go to dinner in another area and you have to take a bus, it's going to take you 30, 45 minutes or an hour sometimes, to get from point A to point B. And that's the same. I mean, just to put the Disney World, map into perspective, it's massive.
Right.
Whereas Disneyland, you can walk from
Yeah.
Disneyland to California Adventure in 5 minutes. So it's amazing the differences between size.
And one of the things that struck me when we were, doing the Disneyland, Disney World thing, was the electronic differences. Like, Disney World is so tech, with the magic bands and all the other kind of technology.
Mhm.
And then Disneyland is still using paper tickets,
right.
Yeah.
But their
Yep.
cards.
That
they're
is
not-
such a hold
well,
up.
they had paper tickets when we
They
started
did.
going.
Yeah, when we started
and
going.
they put
yeah.
it in the machine, it was, like a subway kind
Right.
of thing. So, but
Yeah, some of it, from what I understand, and of course I don't know this 100%, but privacy laws in California are different than Florida, and they don't allow the collection of biometrics, from what I understand, and
Yeah.
that's
Haven't heard that. That's
well, that would make sense.
makes sense. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
would make sense.
That's
Yeah.
like I said, there's different laws, different states,
yeah.
and they have to adhere to different things. So
Right. So Emma and John say they think it's interesting that Paris and California both have Sleeping Beauty castles, but Paris is double the size of the California one.
Yeah.
I guess that's probably just because California was built first.
yeah,
And they didn't think about size and scale.
big size didn't matter in the 50s.
Right.
I think some of it has to do, correct me if I'm wrong, or Mike, you may know, but it would mess the force perspective up with the Matterhorn.
Yeah,
So-
somewhat. I mean, part of it was just
budget.
Originally.
cost.
Yeah.
Cost was a huge part of it.
Yeah.
But then later down the road, when they built the other one, they wanted to match Disneyland exactly. When they built the other Sleeping Beauty castle, and then when they started to build it, they were like, it just looks ridiculously
Not
small
good
here.
enough.
We
Yeah.
can't do this. So that I think it's on the Imagineering,
Yeah, I think it is.
whatever. And then they just started to expand, and it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And so
Right.
the initial
Yeah.
thought was same size, but it didn't work there. So
Okay. I saw Lisa's comment. She says her grandparents took her uncle who was 10 to opening day in 1955. That is super
That'd be
Oh,
cool.
cool.
wow.
I heard the opening day was a little bit of a hot mess in 1955. But how cool to have that story and still be,
Yeah.
have that history.
Yep.
And yes, you're right, Keith. It is very fast to take the monorail from Epcot to Magic Kingdom. You are right. It's much faster than the bus.
It wasn't open when we were there.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
The monorail wasn't open when you guys were there?
To Epcot.
Not to Epcot.
Oh
okay.
yeah.
I had forgotten, now that everything's kind of opening back up again and everything, I had forgotten that the monorail between
Magic
Epcot
Kingdom,
and Magic Kingdom
yeah,
was closed for such a long
for a
time.
long time.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So,
I want to get to the important stuff.
okay.
Genie
There's a-
Plus.
Mike, have you had a chance to use Genie Plus in Disneyland yet?
Genie, no,
Okay.
have not.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't there in October. It wasn't open in October yet,
Okay.
so
So
haven't
just,
used it yet.
I know that you guys said in your last video, Crystal and Jim, that you did use Genie Plus. What is your opinion about it? And it's okay to be honest. It's okay.
Okay,
to be
okay.
honest.
No, we're going to be honest.
I've only used it the one time. Jim has been able to use it twice. For my one time of using it, I didn't really feel like it was worth it because every time we would use the lightning lane, the line was super long.
Okay.
It was kind of shocking, especially like Space Mountain with FastPass. If you use that, it was just one direct line and then they let you right into the main line.
Mhm.
And this one had like snaking back and forth. And I mean, it still wasn't a very long wait, but I was kind of shocked how long we did have to wait.
Okay.
Yeah, we had on average, 15 to 20 minutes every time.
Yeah.
And when I used it in December, we were able, as soon as we used a lightning lane, we could immediately grab another one, and we were basically going from one attraction to the next. And we almost used up all the lightning lanes for the day for the three of us. When this last trip we took a few weeks ago, we would have to wait 2 hours plus, and so we didn't get quite as much done. And then I know Soarin' was completely booked. Midway Mania was completely booked by 5 o'clock, and we had kind of if you saw our video on transportation, we had a little bit of a disaster with our because normally what we do is we do a split stay when we go down, and that way we get more hotels videos out. So it's a little bit of a pain. So we typically leave about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We leave the boys in the park, and we move hotels. And so we normally park at Toy Story, get our car, and it's about an hour and a half to film and move the car and get back to the park. And this time it took us 3 hours.
Oh.
And because of art. And so we had kind of a little issue there. And so we weren't able to really take full advantage of the Genie that day. Yeah. But we noticed it was really different because the day we went, it was packed. Space Mountain had 75-minute waits. And so we're kind of really mixed on. So,
I do have to say, being able to get the ride photos and any PhotoPass photos, I thought was great for the amount of money you're paying. You should be getting those as well. So I love getting the ride photos. Having that included in the price was nice, but I feel like we haven't used it enough to really have an opinion yet. But
well, my question is, because I've used Max Pass, before the pandemic started, and what is it that much difference than Max Pass?
Yeah,
Max Pass was awesome.
Max Pass was worth the money.
I miss Max Pass.
It was really awesome. I mean, really, they already had it down. Why did they mess with it? They could have just changed the name.
We would when we would buy, because we didn't always buy Max Pass, and so we would sometimes buy it, and in the morning, we rope drop, head to Space Mountain. As we're walking to space, one person. That's what would we do? We'd get the Max Pass as we're walking to Space Mountain, ride Space Mountain, use the Max Pass, get it again, ride it again, and then we'd hit Star Tours, walk back to Space Mountain. So by 9 o'clock, 9:30, we've ridden 5 attractions in Space Mountain a bunch of times.
Yeah, that was before the pandemic, and the morning crowds are a little bit different now, but usually you could just walk through the whole queue of Space Mountain, ride it, get off, do it again kind of thing. So, but not anymore.
And with Genie, you can only use the lightning lane once per attraction. So you don't get unlimited lightning lanes.
Okay. I guess I didn't realize that.
I didn't realize that either.
It's like you get
Space
Mountain. You get Space Mountain once.
And that's
for
it.
your day.
Correct.
That's it. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Jace and I went in 2019, like we kept this little tab thing of how many times we rode every ride. and we rode Space Mountain 16 times.
Oh,
Like while we were there, whatever. But you can do that with Max Pass. I mean, you can literally
Yeah.
get off, get another fast pass for, and as soon as you chime in, we were getting another one for Space Mountain or
Yeah.
something that we loved, kind of thing. And we rode all of our favorite rides, 10 to 15 times instead of,
Yeah, because when Kai and I used it, we were like over in California Adventure. We were back and forth. We were doing, we would do Radiator Springs Racers and get off Radiator Springs Racers and then go over to Big Thunder Mountain in Disneyland. We were doing so many cross the courtyards that day.
Right.
It's like I have a trail. It's like it was like a deer trail because we were going back and forth. So and to me, it was totally worth it because you would get all those rides in.
Right.
Now to qualify this though, I think we're in agreement with this. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you are coming to Disneyland for the first time, or it's a once every couple years trip, it's probably worth getting because the crowds are insane at Disneyland. And going back to my friends from Europe, they said, "How do you come here all the time? It's so crowded," and they're just not used to crowds like that. So you need a little bit of a leg up if you want to get a lot done at Disneyland.
Yeah.
Right.
Would you agree?
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Mike? What do you think about that?
I agree. I don't know. I've been interested in, like, ever since the reservation system kicked in, it seems like all of the days are starting to average out. I mean, it seems like every day is crowded now.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've seen a lot of stuff on Disney World and Disneyland where,
Yeah.
I used to come here in February and it was a ghost town.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you could just walk on nearly every ride and, do whatever. And those days seem to be gone.
Right.
And I think that's because of the reservation system. I mean, if you can only get, they seem to fill up like a week or two before, your actual date that you're traveling to, but they do fill up. So it's every day is going to be like, I didn't like that about our last trip. I used to arrange our trips to where we would start on a Saturday or Sunday, but we'd end on a Wednesday because I wanted the last day to be,
Less
nice and
crowded.
relaxed and no crowds and stuff like that. And our last day felt exactly like Saturday, the last time we went, and I didn't like that at all. So
Yeah. I was going to ask both of you guys too. Do you think it's because people didn't travel for 2 years, basically? Is everybody going now because they're making up for lost time? Or do you think is there a slow time at all anymore for Disneyland? Or is it going to be that way from now on out? Or do you think it's just regulating from when people hadn't traveled for a long time?
About the 2012.
I'm afraid it's going to stay. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's going to stay that way.
I feel like it's back to pre-pandemic crowds, honestly, right now.
Yeah, and we noticed since DCA 2.0 in 2012, when they did the major remodel and added Cars Land, that's when the on-property resort hotels pretty much doubled in price.
Wow.
Maybe a little bit of exaggeration, but the crowds have been absolutely nuts ever since Cars Land opened up and the full remodel happened, or most of the resort got remodeled there. And we've noticed it's just been really crowded, and people say, "Oh, February is the slow period." We were just there, and it was more busy than late November when we went.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So is there a strategy now with Disneyland? Disney World, it used to be go early and leave in the middle of the day when it got crowded and then go back again at night. Is there a park strategy now for Disneyland, or is it just open to close? Is it like crazy town all the time?
I feel like rope drop is not as beneficial as it used to be. It seems like a lot more people have realized if you go early, you get more done.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we, to be fair, we hit all the e-ticket type attractions. We are not riding, Fantasyland type stuff. So, but we have noticed like we can't ride that Space Mountain that many times in the morning anymore that we used to be able to do. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I do think, the later in the night, a lot of people leave, especially if there's fireworks, a lot of people leave after the fireworks still. That's still pretty much the same. But the lines are still, it's not like Space Mountain drops to 20 minutes. It's still usually 45 minutes which isn't too
Yeah,
terrible, but
and I know, Mike, you could probably say this too. I know when I was in high school or just out of high school, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, Disneyland used to be dead.
yeah.
for sure. Yep.
And that's not the case anymore. It's still, it's a lot. The crowds are the crowd thins out, but it's still busy.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
Because it's still Disneyland, it's still a lot of locals too, like day
Correct.
guests, right? That come,
Yeah.
as opposed to Disney World, where the majority of people are either staying on property or they're
close.
they're visiting from another state,
Right.
Right.
or another country, basically.
Yeah.
So Disneyland is still pretty much, locals kind of park. Is that correct?
Yeah, I know Puni Chan fam, they have a channel, and if you ever seen their vlogs, I noticed they tend to come they arrive at night in the evening and stay for 3 to 4 hours. And so I think that's what a lot of our friends live in Anaheim themselves, and they're kind of random, but I know they do tend to come in the evening for a number of hours and
We would
hang
do
out.
that if we lived there.
Yeah. Like YouTubers, that seems to be their thing. Like Theme Park Obsession does the same thing. He'll get there around noon, whatever, stay a couple hours, however many hours it takes, and then he's out before it even gets dark, and which drives me nuts. But I only
there's so much more to do.
I only get to go once a year, so I guess if I got to go every week, I'd probably do the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so pretty at night too, with all the lights and everything.
like,
It's beautiful. Yeah.
My favorite time there.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of getting that way with Disney World too. Once it starts to get dark, and it starts to thin out.
Yeah, a little
Because
bit.
we learned before, it was like rope drop. You get there first because nobody's there.
Right. You can do
Now
all kinds of
everybody's
stuff.
going to rope drop, and then by noon it's thinning out, and by 5 it's like a lot.
A lot
better.
of people, leave for dinner and stuff like that.
So we would start going later in the afternoon. We'd sleep
Mhm.
late and go later in the afternoon, and we'd get more done.
Yeah.
So my family, as Bob and Kelly know, my family does all of the above. I mean, we are up crazy early. We rope drop. We changed our strategy the last time just because, kind of like you said, you don't get as many e-ticket rides in early in the morning. So we went straight through the castle and went to Fantasyland, and we rode all 10 of those tiny rides within about.
I love those rides, though. That's my.
I'm going to say bye to Keith really quick. Bye, Keith. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great day. I'm also going to answer Maria's comment here. So she's not going to be using Genie Plus on her next trip. We're undecided. We have a trip coming up in about a month.
It's
middle March, and we're not sure if we're going to use it or not.
I don't know if I want to, because I the one lightning lane per ride thing kind of bums me out.
Yeah, that kind of bums me out too. Hi, Disney Nerd Hunters.
So I'm like, and it's it's $20 a person, and
yes, that's $60 for the 3 of us
a day.
And if I don't know, I guess we have to average out what all we would use it for too.
Right.
So
so it's going to be a game day decision.
Yeah,
that's
I
for
think
sure.
so, because like you guys said, the crowds are more likely than not going to be a little bit insane.
And on our last vlog, we mentioned we bought Genie Plus about 11 a.m. I think you said, and we would probably recommend making that decision earlier, because I don't think we really got to take full advantage of that day. And that's why we're not going to make a video on it yet. We want to. We have some friends coming out from Florida. They're Disney World people, and they've never been to Disneyland.
Okay.
And so we're going to use. I told them let's all buy Genie, and then we're going to use it for 2 days in a row in April.
Oh, that's good. That'll be a good litmus test there.
I mean, like Emma and John said, it is a lot of money on top of your ticket prices.
It is.
For every single day. Is the California system the same as Florida, where you can purchase at 7 a.m.? Or Disneyland's different. You have to be in the parks.
Yeah, Disneyland is you have to walk through the gate and then start doing it. It's like Max Pass. Max Pass.
Yeah, we have magic keys. So unfortunately, I don't know all the small details with the tickets like that.
We were undecided as well this last trip if we were going to use it, and then around 11 we noticed crowds. The lines were getting longer, and we were like, well, let's try it and see if we can get good use out of it. But I think Jim is right. We probably should have just bought it as soon as we walked in and started using it. right
But
away.
if you have Magic Key, can you buy it in advance? I mean, you can't use it till you get into the park.
I'm not 100%. Because we usually, it's like you said, it's a game day, and so we've never tried it. We know you can mobile order food before you enter the park, before you scan in.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. Because I usually park the car because I have the most vacation time out of the two of us. And so I have the most expensive Magic Key, so I get free parking. So I take the car. Crystal usually walks and films the walking videos that we do to Disneyland, and so she mobile orders while waiting in line and for food.
Multitask.
Yes.
That's teamwork right there.
Yeah.
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 I was panicking last time because we were like almost up there and they needed to scan our tickets and I wasn't done with the mobile orders. I'm like, hurry
I was just going to say, Lisa just made me hungry for beignets. Yeah, the beignets at Cafe du Monde are amazing.
Oh,
Yeah. So, okay, let's just go into something a little more fun rather than technical stuff. Tell me one ride that you think is better. Each of you can all have different answers if you want, or the same answer if you want. One ride you think is better at Disneyland than Disney World.
There's like 40 of them.
Okay, Mike, we'll start with you then.
Space Mountain, obviously.
Bye, Lisa. Thank you, Lisa, for being here. Have a safe flight.
Yeah, so Bob was one of the first people to, like several years ago, he was telling me about certain rides that you guys don't go on because it bothers your back or, whatever. And I was like, come on, like, how old are you guys? Come on, whatever. And then we went to Disney World and I rode Space Mountain and oh my, like I was in pain, like pain after I got off that ride. So yeah, Disneyland's Space Mountain.
Because it's been forever and a day since I've ridden Space Mountain at Disneyland. It was actually when Kaya turned 5. Hi, Cinder Alley loves Disney. How are you? And Emma, John, and Maria at One Brick Shy both say Pirates too. It was when Kaya turned 5 that she was bound and determined to ride Space Mountain.
I rode it that time.
Yeah, but I haven't ridden it since because every time I've tried to ride it, it's been down. So I haven't been on it since Kaya was 5. So is it that much smoother than Space Mountain at Disney World?
It's night and, in my opinion, it's night and day.
Okay. Did they redo the track?
Well, it's a different track system. Like they built Disney World's first, but they built it off of the Matterhorn technology.
Oh, okay.
So it's the same.
Matterhorn.
Exactly. Like, Matterhorn does the same thing. I love the Matterhorn, but I get off of it and I'm like, why do I keep going on that? But then I go right back on it. I can't explain it. But so they built it off the same technology as the Matterhorn, but then when they built Space Mountain at Disneyland, whole new ride system, whole new track system. So
I have not been on it since your birthday, Kaya.
At Disneyland.
She's eating pickles over there. She's not paying attention to me.
So yeah, then there's the other obvious ones. Like, I think Magic Kingdom as a whole, I loved Magic Kingdom just because you're in a Disney park and you're having a great time. But like everything about ride wise, like it feels huge and it's a beautiful place and I loved being there. But nearly every ride felt like a slightly cheap knockoff version of Disneyland's to me. Nearly every, there was 2 in my opinion that were the opposite. I like Splash Mountain at Disney World better just because you get to sit side by side.
Right.
And then I liked the Jungle Cruise better just because of that temple part where you go into the ruins.
Disneyland doesn't have that.
Disneyland does not have that. But everything else felt like a slightly cheaper version
like a
of
knockoff.
Disneyland. Yeah.
Okay. What about you guys, Crystal and Jim?
You go.
I'm going to say, since he already said Space Mountain, I agree with that too. But I'm going to say Big Thunder is better at Disneyland because you can do the goat trick. And it was really strange for me to go the opposite direction on Walt Disney World's version. Although I did like their queue better. I liked being up higher and being able to see the ride more. Although I love Disneyland's queue too with all the mine train through Nature's Wonderland buildings.
And then Big Thunder also has the updated Last Hill with the dynamite exploding.
Right.
I love that one.
What I like about Disneyland's version is you get on the train outside. I always thought that was pretty cool.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think I'll take the controversial route.
Oh.
Indiana Jones over Dinosaur.
I don't think that's very
That's
controversial.
not remotely
Uh,
No,
controversial.
that's like I totally love Indiana Jones.
Yeah, and I know there's dinosaur fans, and I'm not. I actually thought I'd get the pants scared off of me in that attraction.
Me
So I was
too.
expecting jump scares.
Yes.
Yeah.
And instead, to me, it sounded like if you have small children and you're watching the Wild Kratts, it sounded like the announcer, "Is that our dino? No, that's not our."
Right.
And so Indiana Jones is more. To me, it's more of a thrilling dark ride. And then I'll add Guardians of the Galaxy on there over. I love
Hey,
Tower of
Jerry,
Terror.
Hotbox Ghost, how are you? Yeah.
I do love Tower
I
of
was
Terror.
so salty about that until I
You were
wrote
so
it.
salty
I was
about
too.
Guardians of the
Same.
Galaxy.
I was like,
We were
how
super
the
upset.
hell can you
Yeah.
change the Tower of
Mhm.
Terror?
Yep.
And then we wrote it, and I was
Blown away.
just
Yeah.
like, they need to change Disney World.
Yes.
I think it's good to have the two different versions
do.
personally.
Yeah, I like that they kept it at Disney World, so you still
I
get
am
to
too.
experience both.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse. Like when they turned that to the Tarzan Treehouse in Disneyland, I lost my mind. Like you just can't do
Mhm.
that. But I'm
Yeah.
glad they kept it at Disney World because when I go to either one, at least I still get to experience both now.
Right.
But
Yeah, and our boys love the movie Swiss Family Robinson. That
Yeah.
they said they changed it because it's kind of out of date, but our boys love the movie.
it's
Yeah.
one of my favorites from when I was a kid. So
Me too.
Well, and I think they
coconut
should,
bombs.
Yes.
I think they should bring back Soaring over California and just
Yeah, it would be
Well,
nice.
exclusive.
It's coming back in March.
I know,
Yep.
but they
I
should
know.
stay there as
Yeah.
exclusive
I agree.
Disneyland.
Yep.
And leave Soaring over the world, of course, in
In
Epcot
Florida.
because it's the World Showcase
Yeah.
and everything.
Right.
So
Hi,
Totally
April.
agree.
it's just like, yeah, because I love Soaring over
I
California.
know it would be nice if they kept it there permanently. Luckily, I think we're going to catch it when we're there
Yeah.
in California in March.
Mhm.
Fingers crossed.
They have two screens in California, don't they?
Yes.
Like I always thought it'd be cool if they kept one California and
Yes.
I
one
think
sort
everyone
around
would
the
go
world.
to California.
That would be cool. I mean, if they like in California, if they had one theater that was Soaring over California and one theater that was
Right.
Yeah,
It would be interesting to see which one would be
which
more
line would be
popular.
longer.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be really interesting.
I'm thinking the California one.
But
would be
I
more
would,
popular.
I think it would be cool to keep Soaring over California
In
permanently
Disneyland.
in Disneyland.
Right.
Yes.
Personally, yeah, I'm with you, Maria. I love the original Soarin'. When you're going through the orange groves,
Smell
and
the,
smell
oranges,
the
the golf
oranges.
course, all the
Yeah,
Yep.
I love
and
the
I don't
jet.
know if it's just nostalgic, for us that have been going for a while, or because I don't know, Em and John, you've probably never seen the original Soarin' over California. Probably not, because they've never been to Disneyland.
Yeah, but Disney World was doing
It had it for a while, but I don't know if they were there.
I don't remember when they changed it to Soaring Around the World
Okay.
because it was there in Disney World.
Maria, do you know when the last day is that it's going to be that they're going to change back over to Soaring over?
It's at the end of the
World.
It's at the end of the festival, but I don't know the dates. I know it's like mid-March, but I don't know when the festival ends.
Okay.
Sometime in April,
Sounds right, but
Okay.
because we're going in April and it's California.
it's okay.
Okay. Okay.
Nice.
Cool. So then we'll see it because we'll be there in March.
Yeah.
Well, I know a lot of people like it better too, just because the Golden Gate Bridge was the only one where you noticed that arc with the curved screen. Whereas
banana
there's so many scenes in Soaring Around the World where you're like,
Yes.
oh wow, I didn't know the Eiffel Tower did that.
I
Or,
know. Was it a
you know,
banana or the
oh, that looks amazing.
I know, because if you're anywhere on the sides,
Right.
it's
It's
like,
like-
very bendy.
Taj Mahal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, how does it stand up?
Right.
Right.
So what is there one ride
It's like
at
April 26th.
April
last year.
26th? Oh, okay, thank you. Is there one ride at Disneyland that you wish Disney World had? Because there's
Disney
several
World?
at Disneyland. There's several at Disneyland that Disney World does not have. What
Yeah.
if you were to bring a ride from Disneyland over to Disney World? Which one would it be?
Racers.
Racers.
Oh, heck
Racers,
yeah.
racers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Radiator Springs.
I'm
I'm gonna
shocked.
go something classic and say Storybook Canal Boats.
Oh yeah.
Storybook Canal Boats is cool.
That is
That
kind
is
of
a-
cool.
Yeah.
That's a winner.
Yeah.
I see a Kaya dancing in the background there. It's
Yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah.
I guess it depends what mood I'm in. If I'm in a chill mood, I would probably bring Alice in Wonderland over to Disney World. But if I need some adventure, I would do Radiator Springs Racers, but you guys stole that. So
You can have the same answer. It's okay.
I'll do the Incredicoaster.
Yeah, that one's good. I like the
The
Incredicoaster.
Incredicoaster is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so what park would you put the Incredicoaster in
Oh snap!
at Disney World?
Hmm.
Where would it fit? And you guys can think about Radiator Springs Racers, Crystal and Jim. What park would you put it in?
That would be.
Would you take
Hollywood
out? Would you
Studios.
take out Test Track, or would you keep Test Track?
I'd get rid of Test Track.
When we rode Test Track, we were, because I have a video of it. We just uploaded to our channel, but we haven't published it. And it was, I think if they update it, it would do fine. You know, just update the technology in the dark ride portion. But I think it'd fit more in Hollywood Studios. Racers would.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
you're right.
really hoping when they did the whole Lightning McQueen Racing Academy thing at Hollywood Studios, I was hoping it was going to be more similar to Radiator Springs Racers. But we haven't even gone in to see it. It's just a show, basically, isn't it?
It's cute.
Yeah,
We
went.
it's just a cute little show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I took Lincoln when everyone else rode Tower of Terror. I took Lincoln in there, and we just sat and watched a couple times.
Okay.
It's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went too because our oldest son is a huge Cars fan. So
Okay.
he was a little embarrassed to go in there, but we went in and he liked it.
You can't get embarrassed about doing
Any
things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Not at Disney, because
Yeah, we don't allow that. At
no,
our
everybody's a kid when you walk
Right.
into
Yep.
Disney.
He told him, "We're here. Let's do it." You
Yeah.
know, he's your
Yeah.
favorite character ever, so let's go
Yeah.
check it out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That's the whole thing about being in the Disney bubble is you
Right. Is you can
you have
act
permission to
to be
be
a
a
kid.
kid.
Yes.
Exactly.
You
No
know.
matter how old you are. So Emma and John say Incredicoaster, I think, would fit good in Hollywood Studios.
That's probably where I'd put it as
Where
well.
you put it.
Mhm.
It's not the only one that makes any sense, but
Yeah, because Magic Kingdom, no. Animal Kingdom, no. Epcot, no. Yeah, so Hollywood Studios is probably where it would fit the best.
Yeah. Magic Kingdom could do the Alice in Wonderland ride. That would,
Yeah,
in
definitely,
Fantasyland, that would fit in
definitely.
Fantasyland.
yeah.
I would love the Snow White ride. I love that one. That's one of
Yeah.
my favorites.
Didn't they used to have Snow White in Disney World?
They had Toad.
Mr. Toad.
They had Mr. Toad.
they had a Snow White ride as well.
Did they at Disneyland,
they
in Disney
closed that.
World?
I forget when they closed it, but it
They
was
might have
Well, that was
closed
a
it.
mistake.
They might have closed it when they
Totally.
redid Fantasyland at Magic Kingdom.
yeah, I thought they closed it to put the Seven Dwarfs,
Mine
Mine
Train.
Oh,
that might be
probably.
right.
Yeah. but I'm not 100% sure.
So, okay, on the reverse, is there a Disney World ride that you would move to Disneyland?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Mr. Mike?
I'll let them go first.
Okay.
Okay.
For me, hands down, my most favorite attraction there was Expedition Everest. I would love to see something like that at Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
I have to pick something different.
So would you put that
Would you-
over in California Adventure? Where
I was
would you
gonna say,
put
would
it?
you or put
I
it
would
over the,
I would
put it over the
replace
Matterhorn?
I would replace the Matterhorn.
No, I love the Matterhorn, even though it is a little painful. I wouldn't want to move that because it's such a classic attraction there. I don't know where I would put it. It's such a big ride. I don't know where they would have room for that, but
The mythical
they
third gate.
Yeah,
yes,
they need a third gate. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I would like to see Mine Train, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, come to Disneyland because they're getting rid of Gadget Go Coaster
Mhm.
in Toontown, so you really don't have a starter coaster anymore for kids, and that's a great one.
Got
I
it.
was gonna say I don't know how I feel about that, but putting it in Toontown would be fantastic. Like
Oh yeah, that would be
that-
cool.
Oh,
That'd
we
be
say
a
hi to
winner.
Walt. Hi, Walt. Mouse Talk. How are you? Thanks
Say
for being
Walt?
here.
So Snow White is where Princess Fairy Tale Adventures is.
Princess Fairy Tale Hall.
Oh, yeah, Princess
Okay,
Fairy Tale
got
Hall.
it. Got
Thanks
it.
for that info there.
Yeah,
Walt.
yeah, because we didn't. That was before we started coming to Disney World. We hadn't been there. They were building Seven Dwarfs Mine Train when we were there the first time.
Mhm.
So New Fantasyland was kind of already in the works.
It was in. They had all the construction and stuff around.
Right.
It was,
Yeah. No more Gadget Coaster. Allie has a bone to pick with you about no more Gadget Coaster.
it wasn't our idea. You know?
No. No.
Hi, Brian. How are you today? And then Maria One Brick Shy says People Mover. I agree. I would love for
Oh, yeah.
them
Oh, I
Oh
didn't see
yeah.
that.
open
Yes,
up the
We
People
missed
Mover
the People
again.
Mover.
Yes.
I mean, the
Uh,
track's still there.
I
I
love it.
know.
I really
We-
liked
You know,
I really like Disney World's People Mover, but I want our
Justin.
People Mover back. Like I liked our People Mover better than Disney World's.
Yeah, what was oh gosh, what was that attraction? I can't think of it now.
Rocket Rods?
Which
Rocket
one?
Rods.
Rocket Rods.
Yeah.
Yeah, that apparently ruined the track.
Yeah.
And because our
Oh.
People Mover had one section, you had Tron, which was kind of neat because you felt like you're on the light cycles
Yep. Uh-huh.
in there, and it was just we actually on the Vintage Disneyland group in Facebook, somebody posted, "Hey, what's that blue cart going by?" Posted a picture. What's that blue cart going by in Star Tours? And
Yeah.
Yep.
Everyone was like, People Mover.
So do you think that this is just fantasizing? Do you think that the track would be salvageable to redo the People Mover, or were they had to start from scratch?
No,
I mean, because some of the structure's still there, right?
So do you know how at
there.
Disney World the rocket ships are up on that tower?
Yeah.
Like it used to be like that at Disneyland too, but they had to take that down and put it down in the front of Tomorrowland
Uh-huh.
because that structure won't hold it anymore. Like the
Oh.
whole thing is that messed
They'll
up.
have to
now
redo
that
it.
Okay.
They'd literally have to bulldoze most of Tomorrowland to start that process over.
Got it.
So, which I'm okay with if they decide to do
We are
that.
too.
yeah, we were not a fan of the '98.
Right.
If you're watching from the very beginning of this,
Right.
Crystal and I, one of our first dates was at the '98 remodel of Tomorrowland, and our reaction is, what did they do? And we were not happy with all the gold, and it was very unpopular. And I think all the gold disappeared. Most of it disappeared.
All the French fry rocks. And
Yes. Thank
all that good
goodness.
stuff. Yep.
Mhm.
Good stuff.
That is crazy. So I know we're getting close to our hour, so I'm going to ask you guys a couple more questions. So do you have a favorite restaurant in Disneyland? Either quick service or sit down, either one.
I'd say our favorite quick service is Bengal Barbecue.
Okay.
And then so far we've had really good experiences at Lamplight Lounge. Both times we've gotten to go there.
That's a
have
hard
been
reservation to get. is
Very
Lamplight
hard.
Lounge.
Yes.
Very hard. Try 2 to 3 days before your trip.
That's how we got it both times. Was
Yeah.
but I like obsessively check the app.
You kind of, I'm, well, yeah, when I remember to do it, because I have about 8 million things in my head that's like, I need to check this, I need to check this, I need to check this. But yeah, when I remember, I need to start doing that, before we go, because that's one place that I would really like to go.
What about you, Mike?
Well, I mean, you guys know we're not exactly foodies. 90% of the time we bring our own food into the park, and just like we're such park commandos, like ride. We just eat snacks while we're in line, and we'll maybe grab a quick burger or something here and there. But when Jason and I went in 2019, we bought that the combination thing where you do Blue Bayou and then you go get to see Fantasmic afterwards,
Right.
with like front row seats. And
Very
we went to Blue Bayou with my sister and my niece and my nephew, and it was like you would have thought I'd never eaten out before. It was just like absolutely amazing. We had the best time watching the boats go by. Dinner was fantastic, and then they literally took us because the crowd was huge. Like we're talking thousands of people for Fantasmic. They marched us through this thing right to the dead center, front row, right against the fence, and we're like, "Here you go!" And they gave us these little cushion things to sit on. I was like,
Wow.
I am royalty. Like, it was awesome.
I'm the king of the world.
Exactly. I was like, woo.
So Walt and Melissa from Mouse Talk say they're going to Disneyland for the very first time in September. You guys are going to
First
love
time.
it.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you have any questions for our resident experts, Crystal and Jim or Mike, let us know, because they're the Disneyland authority. And that's one of the main reasons why we wanted to do this live stream. And we may have more, hopefully down the road if they'll agree to come back and hang out with us. Because I think
I
there's
got a
so
lot on my
much
plate.
there's so much difference between Disneyland and Disney World, how things work. Dining reservations, they're a little bit trickier, I think, in Disneyland, because I think there's fewer choices. So if you're looking for something, sit down, it's a little bit trickier, and you have to be really on the ball with that reservation, kind of window.
Well, you kind of do at Disney World too. You just got to do it 60 days in advance.
Right.
But I think Disneyland has better quick service options than Disney World.
Bye, Stephanie. Thank you so much for being here.
I
We
think
appreciate it.
their quick service food is much better than Disney World's.
Yeah. So
I
Brian
agree.
Chow says his last time at Disneyland was in 2015. That's just a couple years ago, Brian. What hotels would you guys recommend? That's a big loaded
That's
question.
a big topic.
Yeah. Because
think
Disneyland has a lot of good neighbor
Yeah.
hotels. Yeah.
Lots.
Yeah, I know that a lot of people, I want a good neighbor hotel, and I think over at Disneyland, it's more of just a program they participate in.
Mhm.
And so you can book vacations through Disney, but necessarily the quality does vary quite a bit.
Right. Talia, will you
A lot.
post Crystal and Jim's
I would
link?
Say the biggest thing you need to think about is your budget, and then from there, how close do you want to be? Do you want to be walking distance? Do you not mind being further away and taking Art or taking an Uber, and then kind of look at reviews from there.
We also, do you want to stay in a hotel or a motel?
Yeah,
That's
lot
a
of
big
people
one.
That's a
won't
big
want
one.
to stay in a
So-
motel.
Let me ask you about Art. Is that like the bus system there?
It is. It is. And
Anaheim Rapid Transit?
I
resort.
would just jump in.
Resort
Like, I think
trip.
Crystal and Jim are the experts on this part, but like I think they would agree with me. Like anytime that you can walk to the parks and avoid really any kind of transportation, like for me, that's huge. You know, as
Right.
long as it's like, I don't know, I guess our limit's about 10 minutes or so, maybe a little longer,
Right.
but
Yeah.
there's plenty
Yeah.
of really nice places within a 10-minute walk.
There is.
Yes.
Because every time
So-
I've taken Art, like there was one time we stayed far enough away, we got this great deal, to stay at where I don't even know where we stayed, but yeah, taking that Art system we had some horrible mishaps.
Challenges. Okay.
Yes.
That and at the end of the night, like if the park closes at 10, their last bus leaves at like 10:15, 10:30. And we're
Right.
the type, like if the park closes at 10, we get in line for a ride at 9:59.
Right.
And then we ride that ride, and then we take our sweet time leaving the park. We want to stop at every store. That's when we do our shopping and lingering, and we're like the last people out of the park.
Yeah.
So you can't even get a bus back.
Right.
So
Hi, Kelly, Mickey Bunch. How are you? So, Brian, Kaya just posted Anaheim Park Tourist, Crystal and Jim's channel in the chat. They have a ton of Disneyland hotel reviews, real-time walks, things like that. They are awesome to go check out.
It's a great resource.
It is a great resource
Thank
if
you.
you're
Thank you.
looking for hotels around Disneyland.
and they're not bad to look at either.
well,
so.
yeah, they're super cool people.
Super
too,
cool
so-
people.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we have 20. Currently, we have 25 hotels posted.
Yeah.
I don't think another channel has that many. I could be wrong, of course. And then we have 3 more filmed that we try to post one a month.
Yeah.
And you guys are, what I like about your hotel reviews are you're very non-biased. You're very just, this is how it is. Because you guys have a family, so
Yeah.
family friendly, safe. Crystal, we have the same kind of thing about there's no deadbolt on the door, or there's
Right.
no table on that side of the bed. So
Yeah.
you guys mentioned that kind of stuff, which I appreciate. So the
Bob and his nightstands.
yeah, you're very detailed about, this is good for this, and the pull-out couch. Hi, James Ryan, how are you? The pull-out couch is comfortable, or this room is more spacious, or and I like the walks, the real-time walks a lot because
Yeah, that helps
like,
me a lot.
exactly like you said, Mike. It's important if time is of the essence when you're doing a Disney vacation.
Mhm.
So if it's going to take you 20 minutes to walk, you might want to rethink where you stay. And budget, of course, is going to be a big factor too. But
Yeah. That's the thing. Like when it's just Jace and I, we don't mind. We'll stay at a really nice hotel for a 20-minute walk. We'll make that trade, because you'll do that in the park easily,
Oh,
throughout the day. But at the end of the night, if we have Lincoln with us, like when I can walk right across the crosswalk and stay at Best Western and get in the elevator and be in bed within 2 or 3 minutes of leaving the park, like, with Lincoln with us, that's a big deal, whereas if it's just Jason and I, another 20 minutes is like, whatever, we walked 4,000 miles a day. So
4,000 miles.
what's 4,001? Like, what do
Yeah.
I do?
Yeah.
I was going to ask Crystal and Jim, like we ended up booking at the Best Western mini suites And from your last video I saw, you said like your next video was going to be the downside.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
stay
We like
there,
to.
like, I don't
we
want to
like-
ruin your video, but like I was going to ask, like, you know,
No.
should I
Noise is the
change my
biggest.
hotel?
Noise is the biggest issue there. So if you're a heavy sleeper, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, we
My issue is I sleep light, and then I have a hard time once I'm awakened. I have a hard time going back to sleep. So if I have a loud noise that wakes me up, I'm usually up for 2 to 3 hours.
Right.
And my mother
That's
has
a
it.
waste. Yeah.
Well, we
And,
stayed, you know how there's 2 Best Westerns right there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we stayed at the other Best Western the last time. But we had a sound machine with us because we had our daughter with us who was only a year old at the time. So we just figured we'd bring that again, even
Yeah,
to this other Best
definitely.
Western.
Yeah, and so we'll actually show it in our video tomorrow. So these are our mics.
Right.
Sorry for the noise. And on the, I'll just do this right while I'm talking. And so while filming, Crystal's interrupted, and these mics are only designed to catch our voice, and you can hear cars taking off and honking in the background.
Yep.
It was very, very disruptive.
Yep.
And so we'll actually show that example. So we don't ever really like to be negative. We want to be really non-biased. That's why we don't put ratings on hotels, because everybody has different experiences at hotels. Our experience could be wonderful. The next person could be awful. And a lot depends on who's surrounding your room.
The neighbors near you.
And
so that's at any hotel.
Yeah. And so we like to be very non-biased about it and just kind of give the good and the bad, and then have you make your own decision.
Right.
And we've been jammed up in comments before. Well, this is a review. Why are you saying it's not a review? And
I think because we don't give it, like, we rate it 7 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 kind of thing.
Right.
We just don't do that.
Yeah, and we always encourage everyone to, because there are some bad hotels, and always look at more than one source, because I know, for example, Google reviews, I think, has somebody has some pictures, and some of the beds are awful.
Yeah, we try to read as many reviews as possible from a bunch of different places. Also, like, hop on the Diz boards and stuff like that if you see anything recent about where you're looking. But our room at the Best Western was right across from where they serve breakfast and towards the front of the property. So I don't think that helped.
Right.
Yeah. And so we were also awakened by the breakfast, because people start queuing up 15, 20 minutes early.
Yep.
And so it made it a little difficult. But like I said, we're going to, after we're done with that, we have to film that video next, after we're done with this.
Today.
Yeah.
And so we have all our notes, and
Yeah.
so we'll go into more detail, and we're going to cover the breakfast and everything there.
I was going to say, thank you, Kelly, for answering Brian's question about Genie Plus. We kind of talked about that just a little bit, and I think you guys are going to, Crystal and Jim are going to do a little Genie Plus video here in just a bit on their channel too. We haven't used it yet, and Mike hasn't used it yet, so we don't really have an opinion on it. Like everything is going to be your own experience, and if you think it's worth it or not. But thanks for answering Brian's comment. But yeah, James and Kelly, like the Candy Cane Inn. Have you guys stayed there before?
It's
Yes,
great.
We
And
love it.
they're closed though.
Yeah.
They're closed for renovation. Yeah.
Mhm.
And so if you're watching and you are we actually encourage you to book a reservation there, but have a backup, because you've been following it. So
They've pushed out their opening date so much.
Okay.
Now they're saying May, last time I checked, but they also posted a picture that they had torn up the whole pool area. So I don't know if they're going to be, I don't know. We can't wait, because the new rooms look amazing, but we're just patiently waiting for them to reopen so we can stay there again.
And last time we walked by there, they had pallets of toilets out in the parking lot, and those have been out there for a few months now.
Oh,
The windows
go get your
are all
free
torn
toilets. Come get one.
out. Yeah. There's security there.
Yeah, and we have stayed at the Howard Johnson's.
Yeah.
James Ryan just mentioned that one too. That's where we stayed last time we were there, and we loved it. I mean, I was surprised how much I liked the Howard Johnson.
I was too. And I got to tell you though, when I'm looking for, like, at hotels, I like to hear if there's conflict, how they resolve conflicts, because some of my best experiences were when I had a conflict with them, and just this customer, like the Hojo. Oh my God, that guy was amazing.
Yeah, tell him really quickly about what
because
happened.
it wasn't even his fault.
No, it wasn't his fault.
You know, it wasn't even the hotel's fault, because we had booked through Southwest and our reservation was lost. So when we got there, they're like, "Hey, we don't even have a reservation. I don't know what's going on." I had, all the information from Southwest, so he goes, "Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to upgrade your room, number one. I have it ready for you now. And then you go ahead, you go to the parks, you do whatever. I will take care of this. And I will look and find the reservation," because, they basically the third party has to pay them.
Right.
So they hadn't been paid yet.
Right.
So he's like, "I'll just, and come see me in the morning." And he did it. He did all the legwork, did everything. We got a great room, and then the next day I goes, "Okay, I found out what happened. It was actually went from one booking party to another booking party to another. It was like 3. And he goes, "I had to follow that chain through those 3, and they paid us. We're all good. You're square. Thank you so much." And
yeah, he was amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, he was just like, because you were in the office for probably 20 minutes
about
trying
20.
to figure out what was going on. And he was like, "Look, I'm just going to put you guys in a room. Go enjoy your time at the parks. I'm going to take care of this." And he could have very easily said, "We don't have a reservation for you. You're out of luck."
They didn't pay us. So
Yeah,
so I'm going to need a credit card, and then you can, whatever.
But he was like, "Here's a room." They gave us a great room, an upgraded room even. And he was like, "Go enjoy your time." And to us, that was
priceless.
I mean, that earned our loyalty points.
Yeah, it's like, Hojo.
Yeah. That actually happened to us, where we called to confirm our reservation and they said, "We don't have a reservation from you." And we booked direct with the hotel.
Oh.
And so we had to go find another hotel. And that ended up being one of our worst hotel stays ever.
Yeah.
Was that at the Hojo?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to name.
Oh,
name it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're being so nice.
Yeah, it was so long ago, so I don't want to.
Yeah.
It was quite
You
a
want
long
to throw
time ago.
shade at the
No,
hotel?
no.
Okay.
But Hojo is known for their amazing customer service.
And they have probably the most comfortable bed in
Yes. And
all of
pillows.
Disneyland.
Oh yeah, it really was.
Very
It
much.
was good.
Can anybody answer Brian's question about, is there any discounted Disney merch near the parks, like there is at Disney World? Because you'll have
You got all these shops.
You
There was
all
like
the
30
shops.
of them at Disney World.
Yeah, there. If you know a cast member, Company D is in the area, but you have one of our friends. She's invited us. She's a retired cast member before, but we never been in there. But I don't know of any. Maybe some of the Goodwills in the area. I've seen posts.
So
on
no
Facebook.
real discount kind of Disney merch stores around.
No, the only way you really get one is with the Disney credit card or a Magic Key holder. That's about it that I can think of.
DVC.
Yeah, you get DVC discount. What is the Magic Key holder discount right now? Is it 20% or 10%?
It
What is
depends
mine?
on the pass.
So mine is
I think-
15.
I think Jim's is 15 or 20, and then I think mine is
I think it's
10
15.
or 15.
Yeah,
Okay.
yours is 10, I think. So I have the top pass, and that includes free parking, and I think it's 15%. I think she's going to look it up right now.
I'm trying to look. I don't know.
I think merchandise is 20 at the top one.
Oh, is
Okay.
it?
Yeah, because
Okay.
I think it was 10, 15, and then 20.
I
Yeah,
think
'cause I know-
DVC must be 10.
DVC's 10.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I always have him buy
Mhm.
with his pass now.
Yeah, that's interesting because at Disney World, it doesn't matter what
No, it's
pass
all
you have,
20.
it's all 20.
Yeah, DVC
Oh,
or
wow.
I didn't
pass.
realize that it was kind of
It
tiered.
was always like that at Disneyland.
Yeah.
Even before
Yeah.
when it was an annual pass,
Okay.
there was different tiers and you
Okay.
got a different percentage.
And that's how it is at Universal.
Yeah,
too. It
Universal
just
has
depends
tiers
on
also.
what
Which
pass you have, how big of a
Mhm.
discount you get. Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, we've run just a little bit over time, so I think we're gonna wrap it up. Unless you guys have any other, do you have
How about
any
final comments?
final comments on Disneyland, and remind us what you guys got coming up, anything exciting coming up on the channel.
You handle the schedule.
Oh,
not me.
yeah. Let's see what's edited. Nothing at this time.
We're gonna have the Best Western experience tomorrow.
tomorrow.
come out.
Yeah, the Best Western Park Place Inn experience is tomorrow.
Mhm.
Next week, next Monday is part 4, and I actually don't know what part 4 is offhand. We have it written down on our notes and of first time guide to Disneyland. And so what we're trying to do is we figured out that there's really nobody's, not that we're aware of, has created too much information on how to get from the airports, how to, where to book a hotel, how to get to the Disneyland park, what to do in Disneyland, prioritizing. So we have we're not sure how many parts it's going to be, maybe 6 to 10 parts for this series. And we really just want to help people out with planning their Disneyland vacation and getting the most out of Disneyland.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And we appreciate all the hard work that you guys put into
Thank
that, because, you know, those of us that know Disney World like the back of our hand, you know, kind of go with, you know, Disneyland is closer to us being in Colorado, but it's less familiar for us. So, you know, those of us that don't go as often, you guys put out so much great information.
Oh, thank you.
You know,
Well, I
That's
think
how
you're
you felt going to Disney World. It was strange having to look like, where's the nearest restroom? I don't know. I got to look on the app.
right.
Yeah.
Mr. Mike?
I was going to say that's how I found the Anaheim Park tour site. Was like, I mean, I know Disneyland like the back of my hand, but like there's 4,000 hotels around there. So now that I live in Colorado, you know, I'm like, you know, where do I want to stay? What's the most relaxing? What's going to be an easy walk? And, you know, there's a lot of people that say they do like a hotel review and they're like, well, here's the room. That's the bed. That's the TV. And you're like, well, I'm like, how far is it from the park? Like how far, you know, like, you're not telling me anything here. You know, like, you know, anything useful. Like I already know they have a bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm pretty sure they have a bed.
They
You
should
know, like,
have
you know,
a bed.
Maybe they have a bed.
Yeah, that was. I actually found out that Bob and Kelly were planning a trip to Disneyland by looking at your site, and I saw that she had commented on one of your videos that I was watching, and I was like, "Wait a minute, what's Kelly doing on here?" Like, whatever. So, go ahead.
Yeah, we live 400 miles away from Disneyland, and so we're tourists ourselves. We're not locals, and so we try to take this with a tourist perspective on everything, and we just we're trying to help people out plan and actually coming up probably summertime we're going to Alani, and we're going to attack Alani, not attack but cover Alani like we do Disneyland.
Right.
And so we have a ton of videos. I don't even know if we're going to vlog it, but we're going to just create a lot of travel videos like we do for Disneyland.
Right.
Is this your first time at Alani, or have you been there before?
Twice.
I know we need to go back. We've only been there once and loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Last time we went was 2016, so it's been a while.
Okay. Yeah. So, Mr. Mike, you don't have a channel yet.
Thank you for that.
We're waiting for your channel.
Yeah,
My beard got longer.
They've been telling me to get a channel for like years now.
I love your channel name.
Well, yeah.
Love it. Yes.
If it ever actually happens, that's going to be amazing. But
we're gonna keep pushing you. You know.
Yeah, we've had lots of roadblocks as to, you know, getting a channel started and all that stuff. But my son and I have like some amazing plans, and we're really like we wanted to do something a little bit different, just because there's so many Disney channels now that we're kind of looking for our own path, our own, you know, like what makes us kind of thing. And as it turns out, I'm just a large child, which is why I do childcare and, you know, work with kids and stuff like that. So there's going to be a lot of entertainment aspect to our channel, which should be kind of fun if I can get my oldest son to come out of his shell a little bit. He's 13 now and everything's embarrassing now.
It'll happen. Well, believe me. It took me 2 years to come out of my shell, because when we first started our channel, I was like, I can't talk to the camera, you know, kind of thing. Oh, thank you for that, James Ryan. You are so sweet. Yeah, Mr. Mike is a member. We call it the Belly Button Club because it's Bob and Kelly's belly. Our friends Em and John thought of that, and we stole it from them. Thank you for that, James. We really appreciate that. We just adore you. So thanks for posting that. So sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you, Mr. Mike.
That's right. The only other thing I was going to add is that even though I'm a Disneyland person, after going to Disney World twice, we're probably talking I'm a 52-48 Disneyland to Disney World. Like, I love Disney World that much. It's just, you know, Disneyland is what I grew up with. It's my childhood. It's got the slide edge, you know, just because of that kind of thing. But one of the questions you asked earlier, like bringing a ride home, mine would be like, so I figured out that all of my trips, my favorite ride changed every time I went, and I couldn't figure out why. But then I realized it was because whoever I was with, whatever ride they were having the most fun on, which kind of became my favorite ride because I'm a people-pleasing person. But then the last trip we took to Disney World, Flight of Passage, every time I went on that ride, I just could not stop smiling. Like, that ride just makes me happy. So yeah, if I could steal a ride and bring it back to Disneyland or put it in my backyard, it'd be Flight of Passage for sure.
That's cool.
Love that thing.
That's an awesome
It
ride.
is an awesome ride.
Like Soarin' is right up there at the top of my list. And just with the action aspect of it, it's got it's got the edge on it. So I
definitely
love that thing.
All right. So any trips coming up for you, Mr. Mike?
Yeah, we have a trip booked for Thanksgiving week.
Nice.
We're actually doing 9 days. So we're gonna do 5 days in the parks, and then we have 2 days booked just at the Disneyland Hotel. So just there, like I wanted to, make videos on that place and just explore and spend time there and play in the pool. Because we always say we're gonna stay at some hotel that has these, the good neighbor hotels that have the water slides and all that stuff. Like, that'd be so cool. And then we're like, when are we gonna go on it?
Right. We're always in the park. Yeah.
Like from the minute we wake up until the minute we go to bed, we're in the park. Like, so what's the point of staying, somewhere that has water slides or, whatever. So we decided we just want 2 hotel days at the Disneyland Hotel. And
that's awesome.
Just enjoy it. So
hi Nick, how are you? So what about us? Do you want to tell everybody what we got going on?
Well, we got Disneyland in March for 3 nights at Disneyland Hotel.
Yep.
Ooh.
Then we got
busting the budget on that.
Well, yeah, but okay. Just to preface that, the only reason we're splurging on the Disneyland hotels because all our other Disney trips are paid for through DVC.
Right.
We're not spending any money on hotels for the next few trips we're taking.
Right.
So that justifies it. Yeah, we're going for broke with Disneyland Hotel, but I love the Disneyland Hotel. It's an amazing hotel.
Disneyland Hotel is building that new tower, so
I know.
Hopefully, you don't know. I mean, maybe it's so hard to get into the Grand Californian on points.
Right.
Maybe now that they're going to have an extra tower,
it might be a little easier, or we might just have to buy points for that.
I don't know. we have points at the beach club, and we can never get into.
But we never tried 11 months either.
That's true.
So there's the difference.
Can I have 3 points, please?
I want 3 points. 3.
I can avoid 3 points. Just give me like 6 hours, and I'm good.
And then in May, we got a big trip. We're going to be there for 7 nights.
Yes.
We're going to Disney World, and we're
Hi, Emma and John.
And we're meeting Emma and John from across the pond.
Yes.
Nice.
We cannot wait. We've been planning this trip for 2 years.
They've had 2 trips canceled because of the pandemic. And they were supposed to meet us.
Super excited about that one.
Yep. And then
we've got some different stuff.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Yeah.
In July.
We actually are going off the reservation in July, and we're doing the Virgin Cruise.
A Virgin Cruise.
Oh, fun.
Out of Miami. So yeah, we're gonna start kind of
I don't
expanding.
even know you.
I know. We're gonna start expanding to a different. We're still gonna do Disney, but we're gonna start also. We just got back from spending the night down in downtown Colorado Springs, which is super exciting. We're going to start doing some more Colorado vlogs, some more local restaurants and hotels and things like that too.
Where'd you stay?
We stayed at the
Mining Exchange.
At the Mining Exchange.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Had a great dinner at Bonnie and Reed Seafood, and then went to Shame and Regret for some cocktails. That was fun.
We were also the oldest people in there.
Okay, so Kelly says waitlist or a 7-month window, you have a good chance of getting it through DVC points. Okay, so we've never done waitlist at the Grand Californian before.
Oh, okay.
So that's it. Kelly, Kelly was a DVC representative. Did you just do bookings at DVC? Most DVC members don't waitlist. Okay. Oh, that's great to know.
That's good to know.
Yeah. James says Virgin Cruise. I know.
It's a family channel. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, we're going to have to do after hours Virgin Cruise chat because that's a little spicy, those Virgin Cruises. This is not your Disney cruise.
It is. I'll be sleeping. I get up early. So.
Yeah. So you want to wrap it up?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We are going to wrap it up. If you guys can stay, we're just going to put you backstage here for a minute. We're going to let you say bye. If you can just hang on for a second, and we'll chat after we end the stream. We would love to do that.
Okay.
So if you have not checked Crystal and Jim's channel out yet, please do so. Please, everybody, say thank you to Mr. Mike. His channel will be live.
And when it is, it's going to be a
It's
big
going to
day.
be amazing.
We're gonna have confetti
We're
cannons.
going to have
I'm
a
just-
party.
So I'm building so much anticipation that everyone's going to want to watch that channel now.
Well, you know, you're going to have like instant subscribers, right?
So maybe six or seven.
Yeah, at least 6 or 7.
At least, you know. Thank you guys in the chat for being here. We really, really do appreciate all the time that you spend with us. It really means a lot.
Yeah, and please check out Crystal and Jim's channel.
Yes.
Give
They
them a
are
thumb-
Thank you.
they are
Thank you.
Give
font,
Rob and Kelly a thumbs up
they are a font of
and
information.
subscribe.
Yeah. So thank you guys. We appreciate you. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend. And we will be back next Sunday at our normal time, 12 o'clock. We have no idea. We're probably going to do trivia next week.
Yes.
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 Okay.
What kind of trivia? We're
Disney
villains.
Disney Villains
Disney
trivia
villains.
next week.
Woo-hoo!
For those of you who have not been in our trivia live streams, we always give away a $25 Disney gift card to somebody in the chat.
Mike, you're not eligible.
I'm going to bribe
I
you
already
to
won
come
one.
back. You did, yeah. So thank you guys. We appreciate you. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.